Painting co-host. And joining us for the hour, Michael Lee, strategy founder Michael Lee. We're keeping an eye on the White House right now. President Trump is about to deliver remarks and issue a presidential proclamation honoring. Does that help, that message?
Well, it's actually 110% accurate. So the bulk of the drive in inflation this quarter from PPI was from margins for machinery and equipment wholesaling. Okay, why would that happen this month? Well, it's the passage of the big beautiful bill and the immediate depreciation. So the key driver of this hot inflation print, you're seeing the big beautiful bill, the immediate depreciation in full effect right away. And if you look, consumer prices since the tariffs have been passed are up at less than a 1% annualized rate. You're seeing, you haven't seen apparel prices move at all. And a lot of the fear mongering that we heard about this tariffs just simply hasn't materialized. And the print we got today, I think, is proof that a manufacturing renaissance and a mini manufacturing boom is coming.
Do you believe in the merits of it generally?
Yeah.
You raise taxes.
Beyond a certain point, raising taxes is counterproductive because you kill work.
So why is it so productive to raise tariffs, which is a tax?
Well,
that's not the argument we're having.
Charles,
that's not the argument we're having.
Because tariffs are based on global trade, and when you have the best economy in the world with the most non-tariff trade barriers, okay, you have to charge something, and there probably is an equilibrium.
And you tax your consumer, U.S. consumer.
There probably is an equilibrium where you can maximize revenue, promote domestic manufacturing, without really pushing higher costs onto your consumers, because it still makes sense at a 10% surcharge or 15% surcharge to do business in the U.S.
You don't. Yes, we still have to pay.
I have 6 months of evidence right now.
Okay, I have 6 months of evidence.
And then
that
I have
this
decades.
glass,
I have decades in China and India where it worked for them.
I have
and
63 years of evidence that this glass. See these glasses I bought are going to.
Sorry, Scott Bessent told our own Maria Bartiromo that the U.S. does not plan on buying additional assets for crypto reserves. Mike, you've been keeping an eye on this. Bitcoin is down slightly today.
Yeah, look, volatile asset, lot of moving parts, and typically when you get a price spike, I think last night we got a brand new all-time high, just under 124,000.
Yep.
Typically, when you hit those all-time highs, you get little pullbacks. It's very volatile, and it's so big, and there's so many people watching it. There's these little nuggets of information. I don't know that it moves the price, and all this stuff about the U.S. owning crypto and moving into there this year. I think once the election happened, you knew the entire dynamic around cryptocurrency changed in that you didn't have an administration that was going to try to outlaw it or pick a few selective players that were allowed to participate in it, and that this was going to be a much more pro-crypto administration. So it's very hard to put your finger on these minute price movements for a super volatile asset like this right now as it pertains to the Treasury. I'd say if the Treasury is not planning on buying more, that is a mistake.
But they said they weren't going to buy. I mean, that was the whole thing.
The rules that were handed down from the Biden administration through these regulators are still in place and being enforced because the chief legal officer at Coinbase told me one of the employees there just got debanked until they made a stand.
And JP Morgan Chase has been accused of it too.
Just so you know, the OCC rule of reputational risk, that was one of the levers they used to debank people. If you go to the OCC handbook right now, it's literally crossed out. So things are changing. They're changing rapidly. I'm not saying there's no spillover effect. I mean, it's hard to take a ship that's going this way and say, okay, go that way.
That was what he
but trust me, times are changing here.
Mike makes a good point, though, in that we're talking about rules, which are different than laws. This is the executive. This is the deep state. This is the bureaucracy taking a hole that Congress created, driving a Mack truck through it, and engaging in social policies that they do not have the mandate.
You've heard of the Chevron doctrine.
That's why that matters so much. But its ability to work.
But it's gone, right? Isn't the Chevron doctrine supposed to be gone by now?
It is, but there is so much manure piled up on the floor that's got to be shoveled out.
How many
You can
decades
see
was
it's
that
not
in
happening.
place, and how long is it going to take to unwind? And like all these, you have these uber political who are supposed to be nonpartisan bureaucrats
Right.
sitting in all these agencies, and so every time someone gets fired or downsized, of all the tears from all the Washington media about these people that are far left political activists sitting in these roles where they're supposed to be nonpartisan, making sure that there's no fraud, making sure that there's no money laundering, getting rid of crypto people, like debanking Mike Flynn or who else who knows anywhere in the conservative movement, because they have Twitter.
To
they
me,
have a
this
big
is
Twitter
just
following.
one example of writing many ships that had gone so